can't believe this happened. Not here in Bondi, not in Australia. For the Jewish community, while they're shocked and horrified, sadly many aren't surprised. This terrorist attack comes after 2 years of escalating anti-Semitic violence, from vandalism and threats to abuse and fire bombings. Jewish leader Ryvchin has been holding his breath, in some ways fearing an attack like today. Alex, I look at you and I can see how haunted you are in your eyes, because you have just lost a lot of people very near and dear to you.
Yeah, the people I've lost are like family. I mean, we're a very close-knit community. You know, we're part of the same synagogue, we grew up together, we've been involved in each other's lives for generations. And, you know, in the quiet moments, you think about the lives that have been lost, you think about what they must have felt in those last moments when life just slipped away from them, just the shock and the terror of what they went through and what the families now have to deal with. You know, I think about my friend, Rabbi Eli Schlanger, who's left behind 5 kids, including a 1-month-old baby. And this community will just never recover from it. There are some blows that are so terrifying and so vast that you just don't rebuild, no matter how much we might like to talk about it and project strength and rhetoric at times like this. I don't think we're ever going to come back from this.
You talked then, before we started rolling, that this is a man with Rabbi Schlanger that built the synagogue. You don't remember ever being there without his presence. And so you see like a loss, like someone who was so important to the community, like someone like him. And then you see like that young, beautiful face of a little girl, Matilda, who's 10 years old, and she got her face painted, you know, yesterday afternoon, right before this all happened. And when you see that, your heart breaks, but it also, it fills you with this, with a sense of rage that's hard to explain.
I mean, these people saw something beautiful. They saw a community of people who came together to paint the faces of their children and mark the holiday of Hanukkah and enjoy the beginning of summer, and to eat food and to drink and to celebrate what's been a really tough couple of years for the Jewish community. And these people saw soft targets. They saw fish in a barrel, and they plowed them down with hunting rifles. They blew them to pieces. Little children, a Holocaust survivor, ordinary human beings with dignity and hope and goodness who were going about their lives. And it's left a hole that, again, it can't be filled. And, you know, I've heard the Premier say some wonderful things and the Police Minister, and we all want to rebuild. We all want to ensure the vibrancy of Jewish life in the city. We can't let these monsters win. But in a way, they've won. They've already won. They've taken something beautiful that can't be replaced and can't be restored. And we're never going to be the same. You know, I'm never going to be able to set foot in my synagogue again and have the same feeling of joy and ease and openness without Rabbi Schlanger there. He will always be haunting that place in a way, you know, and that's what these monsters have done. That's what they've taken from us.
And I think I understand exactly what you're saying there. Like, we'd like to all sit here and go like, no, they don't win, they don't get to. But look at what has been taken, and particularly from your community. You come down here, like we've heard beautiful hymns and people coming together and try and, in a sense, you know, reclaim what this space is. And everyone here is in shock, yet yourself and others, you raised your concerns over the past couple of years, telling our leaders over and over again that this was your worst fear.
You and I spoke about it, Ali. The last time I was on the show was after the Jewel caravan plot, and not long after my former home was firebombed. And at that time we said this is going to end in death. It was so inevitable, it was so predictable. Anyone who knows the arc of Jewish history knows that when anti-Semitism starts to consume a society, it doesn't express itself as just a bit of bigotry or discrimination. It takes people over, it infects their minds, it makes them do the craziest, most inhuman things. We knew what was going to happen. We didn't expect the government to know, but we know through our experience. And we showed the government, we told the government exactly what had to be done step by step to arrest what was happening and to bring it back to some sort of normality, bring back hope to this country and the greatness of this country. But we weren't listened to. You know, at every turn, I feel like anti-Semitism was viewed as something either exaggerated or something political, that if you express support for the Jewish community in our darkest times, you know, it's somehow political favoritism, which has to be balanced against other things, which is madness. And the things that have happened in this country for 2 years should shock and appall us all. And now look what's happened. People have been slaughtered like animals at a kid's fair with face painting and a petting zoo. You know, it's just unbelievable to contemplate that this has happened.
You're hearing all the right language from our leaders now. Do you feel that what we'll see come from this, a greater tragedy as it is, that finally you will be listened in your community? Do you feel moving forward that your community can be safe again?
I don't know, and all the way through I've sought to lead my community, but never to mislead them or deceive them or delude them. And through all the fire bombings and the bad things that were happening, you know, I asked the community to remain proud, remain proudly Australian and Jewish and live your lives. But can I say that now? Can I say that I will lead you and I will go to the next Hanukkah event with my own 3 kids without fear? I can't say that to them. And it wouldn't be authentic and they wouldn't be buying it. Because there are people in our society that want to slaughter Jews, that look at children and families and the elderly and view them as soft targets to be killed. And if we think that this was just 2 people and they've now been dealt with, they've gotten out of their system and we're going to go back to normal, we're absolutely deluding ourselves. They are the manifestation of a movement, of an ideology that has taken root in this country, and we have to remove it root and branch, otherwise it's going to devour us all.
And we have to make sure that we never forget what happened to you yesterday,
That's
so we
right.
ensure that doesn't happen again.
That's right.
I know for you it was incredibly tough because you were meant to be there yesterday with your 3 girls, but from myself, from
Thank you,
all the
Ali.
country,
Thank you.
our arms are wrapped around your community.
Thank you so much, Ali. I appreciate it. Thank
Look
you so
after
much.
yourself.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alex.